Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about some of the updates on the 2024 Honda. Now, one of the first things that I really noticed was the headstock of the bike. We normally see with Honda chassis, the cutout around the headstock of the bike is not actually that big. However, here you can see it is quite large. Also, this was kind of the way it was when they used the Calyx chassis, and I did mention this in the podcast that I think Honda have carried over some of the Calyx chassis, ideas that were run during this year. Now, I don't also know if this is a Calyx chassis or if this is not, but it's very, very clear to see around the headstock is quite open compared to normal. The next thing that I noticed was the frame. When you look at the frame, obviously it is different from any frame that they've run this year. However, where you'll notice the big thing is two major areas. One is the big ridge that is running down the center of the frame there. And I guess this is to do with giving a bit of stiffness or rigidity to the frame where it's needed. Up next, which is probably more important, if you look at where the weld is here and the angle of the welds compared to the previous one. The previous chassis, say, which Joan Mir was running, the vertical weld in that and the weld would be going back up towards the handlebar of the bike. This one is more at an angle and definitely pretty interesting where to be. Now, I have said this about the frames. You know, Honda are still trying to get their frame right and other manufacturers are moving into carbon frames. So there's definitely a bit to go here. But for me, I'm still not convinced that this is a Honda chassis. If I'm very honest, I think this could be a Calyx. Not 100% sure, but I have that funny feeling. The next area is the salad box at the back, as it's normally referred to on the Ducati. Here you can see it's larger. Definitely is supposed to be a mass damper inside there. Be interesting to see if it actually is or if it's Honda just pretending they have one, which might be a good thing to do as well. One of the other things that I noticed is that I believe the bike is very much so like the Aprilia when it comes to the center of gravity. It sits really low, and I think this is going to be quite interesting. Now, as Marquez said, the bike felt very different when he got on it. When it was riding, the whole riding position and how the bike felt, it felt very strange. So there's a lot of changes in there, and I think they've tried to sit the bike down a little bit more to help with and move the center of gravity of the bike downwards to give them maybe a little bit more rear grip. But unfortunately, Marquez has said that, you know, it is the same problems that they have. They don't have a lot of rear grip. The track is quite rubbery, so they should have had excessive grip, but it wasn't to be. I'm not really going to go into the aerodynamics. There was a few little bits and pieces, but I don't believe any team will be running any serious aero that they're going to use for the 2024 season this early. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Did anything else on the Honda, besides it not going well for all the riders, stick out to you? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.